Hey everyone, I'm Joe and today it's time for me to do my May 2017 book haul. Now frankly I'm surprised that I'm actually doing a book haul so soon after last time, because I did a book haul in April and I've thought and indeed sort of planned on it being a while before I bought new books again. But I kind of did buy books again. Rather a lot of books actually. Kind of a lot more than expected. But whatever, I can afford to do it. I'm not. I wouldn't buy books if I couldn't afford it. So, and I like buying books. So, whatever. I don't really mind too much. Although I do need to calm down really, because I've been a bit overly enthusiastic as of late. We'll see how that goes though, because I've said that many times before in the last few years, and yeah, I keep kind of sort of commenting on it in then videos like this. We'll see. Anyway, there's quite a few books to talk about. And to start with, I'll talk about the few books I got sent by publishers before I move on to the books that I bought myself. And the first of which is From Darkest Skies by Sam Peters. This is a science fiction thriller. I should have already had a review of this uploaded, as long as nothing has gone drastically wrong. So I will read the back of the book and then that's it. I closed my eyes and pictured my Alicia walking away, stopping and turning to face me. Hands on her hips, head cocked sideways the way I remembered her most clearly. 5 years and I could almost believe she was back, really here. 5 years and I still felt the loss of her as keenly as in the days after she died. But when I opened my eyes, there was only the bright, empty sky. Going back, I made a resolution to myself. The same resolution I'd made 100 times over. I was going to find out what had happened. I was going to find out who had done this to us and why. I really liked this book. I didn't know what to expect from it. It sounded pretty interesting from the description when I got the email about it. And this is a debut novel and I'm really glad I got it because I enjoyed it a lot. The second book that I was sent by the publisher is one that I was actually planning to buy myself. So if I hadn't have actually got the email when I did, I would have bought this within a few days. So the email was extremely luckily timed, because literally 2 days later and I would have already ordered this book and I would have already bought it. So this saved me like £9, which I'm grateful for, and that is The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula Le Guin. And yes, this is the brand new SF Masterworks edition, one of the yellow spines, of which, as you may have noticed, or from this video and indeed other videos in the past, I really like the Masterworks. This is Le Guin. I shouldn't really have to say too much about Le Guin. Ursula Le Guin is a massive science fiction author. She is extremely well loved within science fiction. This is a really interesting book by the sound of it. Obviously I've never read it, but by the time this video is uploaded, I should have actually already read most of this book, and I will probably do a review of it, so I'm not going to say too much now. Although I will just say, I read the back of the book. Generally, AI is an anthropologist observing the people of the winter world Geffen. The people there are androgynous, normally neuter, but they can become male or female at the peak of the sexual cycle. He becomes drawn into the complex politics of the planet and, during a long, tortuous journey across the ice with a disguised outcast politician, loses his professional detachment and reaches a painful understanding of the true nature of Keffifians, and in a moving and memorable sequence, even finds love. I don't know too much about this book, but it's well loved and extremely well thought after. It won awards, which is why I'm going to be reading it. Well, other than the fact it's Le Guin as well. So, yeah, another Le Guin, and it's got a beautiful cover as well. So, there's that as well. The next book is one of the books I bought myself, although I'm putting it next because it happens to be a masterwork, and that is Random Acts of Senseless Violence by Jack Womack. I don't know too much about this book. It sounds pretty interesting and I needed to buy it now because I am meant to be buddy reading this with Tara, a fellow booktuber, which I will link in the description box below, in the next few months. And frankly, to do a buddy read, you actually need the book first. And the library didn't have it, by the way, so I had to buy it. And plus, anyway, it's a masterwork, so it's not exactly a difficult decision for me. And I'll read the back. 10 minutes in the future, Lola Hart is writing her life in a diary. She's a nice middle-class girl at the calm end of town. but in a disintegrating New York, she's a dying breed. War is breaking out on Long Island. The gangs fight in the streets. 5 presidents have been assassinated in a year. Well, that's a lot. No one notices anymore. Soon Lola and her family must move to the Lower East Side and the new language of violence of the streets. So I know very little about this book, basically overall. I know it is well thought of, and I'm going to be probably reading it in the next month or two. So yeah, I'll see how it goes. And whether I do a review of it, I can't say, but it sounds pretty interesting from the description, so I won't be surprised if I do a review of it. The next 3 books are a trilogy, and that is the Ken Stipich trilogy by John Wallis. This comprises Barricade with a yellow and blue cover, Steeple with blue and red, and finally Rig with green and white. And this is my personal favourite colour scheme of the 3 books. The other 2 are really nice. This green and white I think it looks really nice. I was sent this one, the 3rd one, by the publisher Gollancz, and I read the first book on Kindle last year and I really enjoyed it. I sent the 3rd one, so I thought, well, actually I should probably get the other 2. So I got a matching trilogy as well. And I've already reread the first one. I will be reading Steeple, and then I'll be reading the 3rd one soon, and I will be doing a review of this trilogy. It's about a world, it's a dystopian world where it's artificials and normal people. The difference between officials and people is extremely small. You often can't really tell the difference unless you really know what you're looking for, and it's really interesting overall. I'm not going to say too much now because I will be doing a review of them in the upcoming future, probably in about 2 or 3 weeks time. Besides to say, I really do like these books. They are really well written and they've got some pretty interesting ideas, I thought, and as well as a bit of comedy. So the penultimate set of books is 2 giant ones, and that is volumes 1 and 2 of the complete short stories of J.G. Ballard. This is volume 1 and this is volume 2. And they are both, as you can tell, absolutely massive. They are close to 800 page monsters, and there's about 85 or so short stories contained within these 2 collections. This is basically practically every short story that J.G. Ballard ever wrote, pretty much. And they're in these 2 really nice editions published by Fourth Estate. And I'm really quite keen to get to these. I've read 2 books now with it by J.G. Ballard, and I really enjoyed them. And I haven't read any short stories by him before, so this will be quite an experience because 85 short stories by one author. Some of them are indeed science fiction. I mean, that's what he's kind of known for. But some of them are almost literary fiction from what I know. And indeed, to be honest, some of his full-length novels, they're kind of science fiction, but the more literary fiction, I think, actually than anything else, because he uses social commentary and indeed sort of science fiction elements to make really important points about the world and the way we live in the world and why we get on with each other. And I'm really excited by these 2 books, I really am. I mean, the only thing that's slightly daunting is the sheer size of them, but normally size doesn't really matter to me with books, so it shouldn't be a problem this time either. And finally, the last book is not just 1 book, but it's actually 12 books. Yeah, this is actually the most amount of books by a single author I've bought in a single month ever in my entire life. I've actually never gone this enthusiastically about any particular series before, and that is the Mary Russell and Sherlock Holmes series. Yeah, the 12 of them. This is books 4 to 14 with the short story collection added into it. And before I drop them, I'm going to put these down and show you the individual covers. So the 4th book is The Moor. The 5th book is O Jerusalem. And by the way, I love the covers of these, and indeed the spines. The spines, when they're going to be on my shelf, I'm not sure which shelf I'm going to put them on yet. It's going to look brilliant because they're all perfectly matching and I think they look fantastic. The 6th book is Justice Hall. The 7th book is The Game. The 8th book is Locked Rooms. The 9th book is The Language of Bees. The 10th book is The God of the Hive. The 11th book is Pirate King. We're getting there. The 12th book is Garment of Shadows. The 13th book is Dreaming Spies. The 14th book is The Murder of Mary Russell, and this is currently the last numbered book in the sequence, although this was only published last year, so there will be presumably more, and they'll better be published in these particular edition line, by the way, because I'm going to be extremely irritated if they're not, if they suddenly change style or something, because when you have 15 books in a sequence and then they change, that's something that annoys me a lot, so it better not change. And finally, the last book is, I'm trying not to let the big stack that I've got there fall over, Mary Russell's War. This is a short story collection made up of either 8 or 9, I believe it does say, 9 short stories that she wrote over the years in between these others. So this is also an interesting one. This is obviously about Mary Russell and Sherlock Holmes, kind of an alternative idea to the traditional Sherlock Holmes. It is the first 3 books I really enjoyed, and frankly they are crime mysteries and I really enjoyed them. I'm not going to say too much about them overall because frankly I will probably do a review of the overall idea of the series once I'm done, which will take me a little while because there are rather a lot of them, but we'll see. And with that said, that is it for this book haul. So if you've read any of these books, or indeed would like to, or indeed you have any suggestions on other books you think I might enjoy based on the books I've been waving around in this video, then please leave a comment and we can have a discussion. All my social media links can be found in the description box below. With that said, that is it for this video. So thank you for watching and I'll see you another day. Bye for now.